Super Six game of the week presented by DraftKings. The column will be out later in the week. It involves the Bears' first divisional game of the year. One of the questions, of course, will be, what will the outcome of the game be? Green Bay by 7 or a Bear win, loss, or cover? Green Bay, what we're looking at, I think 5.5 now, might be.
Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, to 5.5 with not down to. I think the look ahead, I think, was 2.5 going to last week, and now we're 5.5. The Bears with new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron fired, potentially team turmoil with reports about maybe some of the veterans wanting Caleb Williams benched. Does not seem like a time where I would be interested in betting on the Chicago Bears, John.
That's exactly why the money did show up last week on the Bears, guys. You know how these like so-called sharp syndicates bet these games. They look for these buy low spots like Chicago. Yesterday, the Bears were +6, and that number got bet up all over town. We're at 5 right now. I think it's ridiculous for the Bears to even think about benching Caleb Williams. What would that possibly do for the future of that team? I mean, we saw what Indianapolis did benching Richardson, and they admitted their mistake after 2 games. They're not going to do that. They are going to play Caleb, as they should. Wise guys are on the Bears. We'll need the Bears. Green Bay is going to be a popular money line parlay play for sure in this game.
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten there. I haven't quite got there, but if you're going to bet it, it's just in terms of the value, it's probably the Bears. Now, this is interesting too. I couldn't believe this. Speaking of head-to-head records, the Bears have lost to the Packers 10 straight games, and the Packers have covered all 10. I mean, that's just unheard of in the NFL. But like you guys mentioned, look ahead was 2.5. You could probably you do pretty well in the NFL if you have the stomach to bet on these Bear type of buy low. You know, everyone that's getting beat up the week before it's the opposite of the flavor of the week. If you can bet against the Lions, you know, when they're hot, if you can bet on the Bears when everyone's kicking them, that's kind of the way to play it, because that's where you get the value and that's where you get that extra point, half point in these games where they're all close. And it is a good spot for Green Bay because they're off of a bye, they're off of a bad loss. I do think Green Bay might be a little overrated. I mean, they got buried twice at home in Lambeau to the Vikings, to the Lions. They lost on a neutral to the Eagles. I don't buy this idea that Green Bay is, you know, this upper echelon team. Indy Bears are nothing for me, Geoff.
Yeah, the question I have is, you know, do we see a better Bears offense without Waldron? There's many issues in this offense. It's not just the offensive line. I mean, the 9 sacks we saw last weekend, I attributed 5 to quarterback and scheme. The scheme is a huge problem. Guys aren't getting open either. DJ Moore's not getting open. Keenan Allen's not getting, like, no one's open. So like there's a whole slew of problems.
How's that Keenan Allen deal working out?
And DJ Moore is I think that maybe he's excited for a OC change, a quarterback change at some point. So it's difficult because we could see a better version of this offense, right? It can't be any worse. That does make him more competitive. That does kind of put him in the category of covering this game. But the only caveat is the Packers defense does some complex things. And I think they're going to really fool Caleb Williams, essentially, right? They'll find ways to get him into bad situations. And then the Bears aren't going to score again. How many drives in a row now has it been, Bears, since the touchdown? I mean, it's been a crazy amount of, they're not a good offense right now. So I know that the Bears is the quote unquote right side, right? Everyone's going to be in the Packers this weekend, but betting on them without knowing what they can do offensively is going to be really tough for me.
Yeah, this will be a sit and watch the score across the bottom of the screen and just see what happens.
Green Bay might be a Sammy bartender play. I know we don't get the bartender plays right. Doesn't it seem like a little bartender
play? It does, yeah.
But against his Bears, though, because the bartender's a Chicago guy, that's a problem.
Bartender, 70% this year?
Our bartender we should have the bartender on the show replacing us.
The bartender is like Steph Curry shooting free throws, man. He's like 91% or something. It's incredible.
By the way,
Public is doing pretty well this year in the NFL, guys.
They are.
You know, it's reached a point where I just laugh when I hear people say, everybody's going to be on so-and-so, so you should bet on the other teams. Like, well, everybody's winning a lot this year in the NFL.
18 and 12 for the bartender.
I'd be careful with that.
18 and 12 for the bartender this year.
Pretty good, man. Yeah. That's a lot better than me, Geoff.
It's a lot better than me.
And I was going to say, it makes 3 of us. Monday night, Houston somehow blew that game on Sunday night against the Lineman. I mean, you can't beat a team on your home field with the lead that you had and 5 interceptions. Like, where do you go to from here? If you're the Texans now, where do you go? You go up the state to Dallas, Cowboys. You're a 7-point road favorite against whatever is left of the Cowboys roster. Again, we talked about the ugly side. Like, everyone's going to be on the Texans here, right? Who could possibly want to play the Dallas Cowboys here with the team that they're out there in the lack of talent that currently is being assembled there. The Texans have to win this game after blowing that game on Sunday night. All the old adages, I'm sure, right, John?
Well, that's exactly how it's going to be. And we did see some sharp groups come in around town yesterday. They took 7.5 with Dallas. We're at Houston -7. I don't know if Houston does need to win this game. I mean, is there anybody even nipping at their heels in the division right now? I don't know that they do. And I look, we're going to need Dallas, obviously, right? I mean, we're going to need Dallas. Terrible Monday night game. I got done praising the Sunday card, which is very nice, but the Monday night game, awful game. We'll need the Cowboys for sure. It's so funny back-to-back weeks to be rooting for Dallas as a touchdown underdog.
It's crazy.
That's not exactly what I'm used to doing this time of year.
They didn't help you.
The Cowboys.
They didn't help you last week. Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.